News.
Congressman Bobby Scott is hoping to be elected to his 10th term in Congress. The Democrat from Newport News represents a significant portion of the city of Richmond. This year he's facing a challenge from Republican Chuck Smith and two other independent candidates. Congressman Scott, thank you for being here. Welcome to First and Four.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
I want to talk a little bit about the angst in the country right now. There's obviously a lot of people unhappy with government and your party in particular. Do you think that's the result of things that you guys have done wrong in Washington, or maybe perhaps a misperception of the work that you've done?
Well, one of the things that has been frustrating is we've had a lot of complaints. We inherited a big deficit in a recession, and there have been attacks on the fact that there's still an unemployment rate. What is absent from the discussion is what any Republican would have supported Barack Obama doing about it. If you have the deficit, should he have raised taxes or cut spending? They would have attacked either one. With the jobs, every time we've promoted a jobs bill, every jobs bill, the Republicans virtually unanimously have opposed. So they have a great strategy where they complain. Just like in '93 in the health care, Democrats pick up the ball, fix it, cast the tough votes that are needed without any Republican help, and then the Republicans come in and complain. I'd like them to come forth with some specific suggestions as to what we need to do. And that's conspicuously absent in all of the complaints.
One of the things Democrats are going to have to make a decision about probably before the end of the year is the extension of the Bush tax cuts. Where do you stand on that? Do you think that the Bush tax cuts should be extended in any way, shape, or form?
Well, if we don't extend any of the tax cuts, the budget will be essentially close to balance in 4 years. If we extend them, you're talking about trillions, any of them, if you're talking about trillions of dollars in additional deficit, trillions, and you'll never get anywhere close. We have pressing needs. We have health care. We have crime. I noticed in your earlier piece you had a lot of crime. I'm promoting crime prevention rather than waiting for children to mess up, get caught, and lock up a higher proportion of our population than any country on earth like we're doing. Put some of that money in prevention and early intervention, and you won't have as many of those stories to report.
But you do think that raising taxes, essentially, which is what would happen if the Bush tax cuts expire.
The tax cuts put us in the ditch. If we did not, these are tough choices. There are no easy answers. If you're going to criticize the deficit, come forth with a plan. Don't just criticize. My belief is that if we don't extend any of the tax cuts, we can come very close to balance in 4 years. Now, we've had a balanced budget. In 2001, Chairman Greenspan was answering questions, what's going to happen when we pay off the national debt? We were scheduled to pay off the national debt held by the public about 2 years ago. No borrowing from Japan, no borrowing from Saudi Arabia or China. Pay off the national debt. After the reckless tax cuts that we couldn't afford, prescriptive drug bill that wasn't paid for, 2 wars, we're in the ditch. We have tough choices to make. And when we did that in 1993 with that budget, there were no Republican votes, a lot of complaints, and a lot of politic, and Democrats lost control of the House because we cast those tough votes. Let's come forward. I have a plan. It's tough votes. If you're going to deal with the deficit, there's no easy answer. And my position is let's do nothing. Let the tax cuts expire.
Okay.
And while we're in a recession, use some of that money to create jobs. But you can be in balance, close to balance in 4 years. Now, that's unpopular. What's the alternative? What we have is the Republicans say we have a big deficit, let's cut taxes. That is not a solution to the deficit. And as long as people think you can deal with the deficit by cutting taxes, that's just absurd. We have to deal with it. It's very serious, and we have to make the tough choices, and I'm willing to do it.
Okay, all right. Congressman Scott, thank you for being here. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
And we will hear from Congressman Scott's opponent on this issue on Monday. Chuck Smith will be here. All right.